She only remembered her mother, and hot tears rolled down her cheek. Her heart was filled with sadness and bitterness. She wished it was her husband, Chief DK, that received that beating. This is a story of a young girl named Chinwe from a town called Amanta. Chinwe was the only child of her parents. She was a very strong girl. She possessed a strong fighting spirit. But her mother, Neoye, never allowed her to use her powers or to get into a fight with anyone. Chinwe was an obedient and a respectful child. Chinwe's father died when she was 10. Many men wanted to marry Chinwe because of her beauty and because she was very ambitious. She learned cloth making and became a seamstress. She took care of herself and her mother with her earnings. Chinwe kept rejecting suitors because she didn't want to leave her mother to stay alone. But her mother insisted that she get married because she would not stay in her father's house forever. After much persuasion from her mother, Chinwe finally decided to settle for Chief DK, who had been coming for her hand in marriage for long. Chief DK was a very wealthy man from another village. He was known for his benevolence. He was a philanthropist, known for helping the poor in his village. Chinwe's wedding was the talk of the whole village. Her husband, Chief DK, being a wealthy man, came with cars, wrappers, goods, gifts, and many other goodies. Chinwe is lucky. She married a man from the city, the villagers whispered. But little did they know that not all that shines is gold. After the whole ceremony and celebrations, everything was good. 1 month passed. The next one came in, and reality began to unfold. It dawned on Chinwe that she had made the worst mistake of her life. Her husband's true colors began to surface. He beats her at the slightest provocation. He belittles her before the maids. He stopped her from making clothes and made her stay at home all day. Chinwe lived in fear in her own matrimonial home. She told her mother about what she faced in her husband's house, but her mother asked her to endure. Chinwe, being a strong woman, wanted to fight back, but she didn't want to disobey her mother. 6 months have passed. Chinwe became pregnant. She got into an argument with her husband, which led to her husband hitting her hard on her tummy, and she ended up losing her child. Chinwe was pained because she lost her child due to her husband's violence. She wanted to fight back, but at the same time, she didn't want to disobey her mother. After some months, she got pregnant again. She was pregnant with twins this time. The same thing happened. Her husband hit her hard again, and she collapsed. She was rushed to the hospital by the driver. She spent 3 days at the hospital, but her husband never showed up. He only called the hospital and paid for her hospital bills. When Neoye heard what happened, she traveled to the city to confront Chief DK. But it did not end well. Chief Dickey pushed her to the floor and she collapsed. She was not taken to the hospital immediately, which led to some complications with her blood pressure, as confirmed by the doctor after the driver finally took her to the hospital. Chinwe got better. She never knew that her mother was admitted to the hospital too. She wondered where her mother had gone, because she was with her before she slept off. She asked one of the nurses, "Have you seen my mother?" The nurse told her that her mother was admitted in the hospital too. She took Chinwe to where her mother was receiving treatments in another room. Chinwe looked at her mother with eyes filled with tears and asked, "Mama, how did this happen?" Her mother said, "My daughter, do not fight. I am happy you are well now. Make sure you take good care of yourself, but do not fight him. I regret giving you to him in marriage." Immediately she said that, Chinwe already knew it was her husband she was talking about. She tried reaching the door, but her mother pulled her back and said, "My daughter, do not do it. Promise me that you would never do it. Do not take revenge. It is not left for you." Chinwe loved her mother very much and would never disrespect her. She nodded in affirmation. Noye asked, "Can you get me a glass of water?" Chinwe went out and asked one of the nurses for a glass of water. But when she got back to the room with the nurse and the glass of water, her mother had already given up the ghost. Chinwe cried on top of her voice, but nothing could be done. She wished she could go and fight Chief Dike, but she wanted to uphold her mother's last wish. She went home and buried her mother. The villagers heard that Noye collapsed, but nobody knew what led to that or how it happened. Chinwe lived at home alone. Her husband never showed up. People called her names for leaving her husband's house, but nobody knew what happened. Nobody could summon the courage to ask her. Chinwe had only one uncle. His name was Ichie Mbaka. He was a village teacher in another community, very far away from Amanta. She had no one to tell her story to. She only wanted to tell her uncle, but he was not around. After a long time, Chinwe was living her life alone in the village. She was known to scare men away with fights after she got back from her husband's house. The villagers did not know what was wrong. Some thought maybe she was still mourning her mother, while others thought that she has been possessed. But something happened. A handsome young man named Ikemba got interested in her. Unlike other men, Chinwe did not threaten nor fight him. He sent her gifts, but she never accepted them. One day, Ikemba went to see her. Chinwe offered him a seat and fruits under a tree in their compound. Chinwe was free with him, and Ikemba thought she was falling in love with him. He said, "I can't wait to make you my wife." On hearing this, Chinwe's heart was filled with anger. She gave Ikemba a very strong blow, another one, and another one. Ikemba could not fight back because she was a woman, and she reacted very fast, and he couldn't even dodge her blows. Neighbors saw what was happening and started shouting, alerting other neighbors. But before they got there, Ikemba was already lying lifeless on the ground. He was rushed to the village herbalist. Luckily, his life was saved. The village chief, on hearing this, summoned Chinwe and sent someone to invite Chinwe's uncle, Ichie Mbaka, home. Ichie Mbaka did not know what had been going on for a long time. The village chief asked, Chinwe, why did you do what you did? Chinwe was silent. He asked for the second time, why did you do what you did? Chinwe was still silent. She only remembered her mother, and tears rolled down her cheek. Her heart was heavy, filled with sadness and bitterness. She wished it was her husband, Chief Dike, that received that beating. Chinwe's uncle was surprised at her behavior, as she was never known for violence. After a while, Chinwe spoke. She said, I was not born to be violent. My mother never taught me to fight, even though she knew I am a strong woman. But the heart of man turned me into what I am today. My husband, Chief Dike, used me as a punching bag. Each day in his house was like 1,000 years in a burning fire. He killed my mother. On hearing this, everybody was shocked. The village chief sent a message to Chief Dike's village king, narrating everything Chinwe said. Chief Dike was later arrested and sent to jail in the city for multiple crimes. Chinwe later apologized to Ikemba and other men she fought, and accepted to marry Ikemba after cutting ties with her husband, Chief Dike.